well, by the way. Bayern Munich are the third team to complete a perfect group stage this season. Liverpool and Ajax, of course. Before this season, only 6 teams had managed to do that. Bayern 2019-2020 season, Real Madrid, Barcelona again, Spartak Moscow, PSG, and AC Milan in the early 90s. That was a sexy AC Milan team. And Benfica, by the way, took care of business. 2-0 against Dynamo. So well done, Benfica. Before we move on, I did want to ask you, aside from Barcelona, because, Bayern did win. Bayern are amazing. And Bayern have gone up my power rankings, everybody. I would go as far as telling them right now, number 1. I think Bayern Munich are the best team in the Champions League. I want to hear from both of you. James Benge, what do you think?
Well, I mean, my power rankings are the ones that get published on CBSSports.com.
Yes, so you stand on print, my friend.
I've had them and City rotating for a little while. The challenge with Bayern, I think, is I've not really seen them play many good teams. But they have to be. They are in that. I think there's an elite club of 3 teams at the maybe Chelsea, so City, Liverpool, and Bayern that are, if you don't reach the semi-finals at the very least, this is a real failure based on the squad you've got.
Chelsea conceded 3 goals consecutively there, James Benge. Does that worry you, or does it matter?
Not really, but a little bit. Certainly not great. But for Bayern, I think anything less than reaching the final is a massive disappointment. This is such a good team that, it's got to be about getting within 90 minutes of the trophy for them.
Yep. I would say Bayern Munich for sure. City, I was disappointed in their performance against RB Leipzig. It just felt listless in a way that I didn't expect, given that they came in with 7-game winning streak. De Bruyne is coming back into the team. Some of the other players, Grealish in particular, are starting to get some minutes and get to start right from the get-go. So I'm not as high, let's say, on Man City at the moment. Liverpool, though, and Bayern Munich are maybe the top 2 that I'm looking at. Madrid, I think, are quietly sneaking around. They only gave up 3 goals in 6 group stage games. If Benzema comes back and they're playing in full power, they look very good. So I wouldn't sleep on Madrid. But Liverpool had the hardest group. Atletico Madrid, FC Porto, and AC Milan. And not only did they win the group, they smashed the group. They crushed them. 6 wins out of 6 games. And there were a couple nervy moments where Milan did have them with their backs against the wall at Anfield on match day 1. But outside of a little bit of that, they were always in control. And it really speaks to what they look like when they're healthy. So I think Liverpool are kind of my number 1 in the power rankings, with Bayern Munich a very, very close second. It's only because of that strength of schedule and also how tough their group was. Whereas to Benja's point, Bayern Munich, maybe their group, Barcelona's not on pace. They put 5 against Benfica at home and 5 against Dynamo Kiev. Liverpool's just had to fight a little bit more in a different way. So I like Liverpool actually at the moment.
Yeah, no, fair play. Listen, I know, Des, I was about to bring up Ajax, and I always said, by the way, Ajax are amazing. I love them so much. But their group, if we're going to have this argument, wasn't that difficult, with all due respect. I mean, Jimmy, back to you, and then James, you but what do you give Ajax in this situation? They are amazing, but I want to see them play like, a Bayern, for example, or a City, or a Chelsea, or a Liverpool. What do you think?
Well, we're listing off the names of teams that finished in second. Like, it could be Ajax PSG round of 16. It could be
that would be sexy.
It could be Ajax Inter Milan. Like, we're gonna get some really good matchups. I just want to state for the record, actually, that I think it's going to be Manchester United versus PSG round of 16, because they want Ronaldo versus Messi for the last time if they can get it, and squeeze as much money out of everybody in TV as possible. I'm just throwing my conspiracy theory out there as soon as possible. Okay, I'm taking dibs on that.
PSG needs, it's more money in their bank.
I'm taking dibs on that prediction, by the way. But with regard to Ajax, they're not a team I'd want to face. Obviously, 6 wins out of 6 games. They have that final piece that I think they were lacking last season because they didn't get his paperwork done in time. Sebastian Aller, or not done in time. They just made a mistake. And they got Onana back in goal, which I think makes a big difference. So now you've got some stability in 2 very key areas of the field. And in 2 months, Onana's only going to get more and more sharp and getting back his rhythm with the team. And Erik ten Hag, obviously a top manager. If they can stay healthy, I think they have a nice blend of players, and they got a little bit of depth that over 2 legs are going to be very difficult to beat. But they're like the best team in like the tier 2 for me. I think you have the Liverpool. I think you have Bayern Munich. City's probably in there. Maybe Chelsea. Real Madrid. But then that tier 2 team that I think could make a run at it. Maybe Chelsea too, obviously, is defending champs. But that tier 2 team, I think would be number one would be Ajax, and then you start to throw some of the other clubs in there too.
Yeah, I had them fifth behind.
Yeah, that sounds right.
The big four that we can all kind of guess who they are. I just think the football they play is fantastic. Yeah. I think in the end, let's say they drew PSG. I'm going to put my, I know Jimmy wants his. I want Ajax PSG.
That would be awesome.
I would back Ajax every single time because they're a team and they're a team with complementary, interchangeable parts. Say Anthony goes down, in comes David Neres, fantastic yesterday. I mean, maybe but we've seen Dusan Tadic do great work as a false nine there. This team it's a really special group of players. I really like them, and I think they are going to be there or thereabouts. It always depends on the draw. Maybe they get unlucky in the quarters, but with a fair draw, they should be really among the last few teams standing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. All right, we're getting some comments in. I want your comments, everybody, from this conversation. Write down right now your top 4. Yeah, I know it's a lot of effort, okay? But just if you can, just type it, all right? I want to know. We all want to know what you all think. It can't just be Jimmy, James, and yours truly. And yes, I'm hearing no love for PSG. PSG gets a lot of love. I voted for them to win the whole thing at the very beginning. I am not so sure right now, but their biggest objective was just reach the knockout stages. But Jonathan Johnson, who covers this team every single day, has not been impressed. So why should we be impressed above somebody like Bayern, Ajax, Chelsea, Man City, and to Jimmy's point, Liverpool?